Greetings. Today we're going to discuss the executive action taken by President Biden recently to help spouses of U.S. citizens and also stepchildren of U.S. citizens. There's an executive action called parole in place that's been used for military personnel here in the United States who have family members who are undocumented but cannot legalize their status, and they're married to people who are in the military, either residents or citizens. And that was something that has already been used by President Obama and President Bush previously. And what he's doing is he's adapting it to the spouses of U.S. citizens and the stepchildren of U.S. citizens who are here, and they can't legalize their status because they would have to leave the United States. And sometimes they have difficulties in doing that, and it's also risky to leave the United States. Many people have gotten waivers and are able to come back, but most people are afraid to leave the country so that because they're afraid they will be separated from their spouses if they can't return. I've successfully argued many of those waivers, but I can see why somebody would rather have this parole in place that allows you to remain in the United States. What needs to be proven is that they are a spouse or a stepchild of a U.S. citizen, that they were married to the U.S. citizen before June 17th of 2024, that they have been here more than 10 years prior to June 17th, 2024, at least 10 years, and then, let's say even a day more than 10 years before June 17th, 2024. So those are the big requirements. They have to have not entered with a visa or been paroled in, because people who enter with visas or paroled in can adjust status. There's already a way for them to do it, so that way they don't take a spot from somebody else. Right now, it would take about 4 to 6 weeks, I would assume, for the regulations and the procedures to be prepared for this specific procedure, for what the form that has been adopted by President Biden. So it's not going to be something immediately, but people can take advantage and start gathering proof that they've been here 10 years, that they have a bona fide relationship, a real relationship with their spouse who's a citizen, or their step parent who's a citizen. And usually, that their parent has a real relationship with their step parent. So it's a big step. What happens is you first apply for the parole in place using a form, probably Form I-131. So you apply for that. Once you've been granted that status of parole in place, then you get employment authorization for a 3-year period that you renew. You get deferred action, that they will not deport you while you're have parole in place. And during that time, you have the opportunity, and this is really the major reason, you have the opportunity that if you're married to a citizen, that you can apply for residency here in the United States. You don't have to leave the country, and that's the big benefit. More than the employment authorization, more than the deferred action, is that while you have that parole in place status, you're eligible to adjust your status here in the United States without leaving the country. So it's a big benefit. Now, there are obstacles that will make it not a certain thing, but and most of them are political and legal. One of the political problem is that it's right before the elections, so it depends on who wins the election, how far this can go. Hopefully, they expect, I said, 4 to 6 weeks. So if it gets filed before the elections, then you have a good chance that even no matter who the president is, that you might still be able to get the benefit. Okay. And so that's one thing, but we don't know what would happen if a new president came in and decided that he doesn't want to continue that program, that parole in place. The other part that's difficult is the legal part, which is that there might be lawsuits against it, as has been done by some states in the past, which is very strange, because if they don't want the immigrants in their state to have the benefit, why are they causing problems for immigrants in other states? And I know that's not how it works. It's immigration's federal, but that's just because they're against immigrants in a state like Texas that has brought lawsuits to stop these type of executive actions. They've been successful in some and not so successful in others. They haven't been so successful in DACA for the people who filed initially, and they were successful in something called DAPA, which was for the parents of citizens that President Obama tried to do while he was in office. So it could be good news. I think it's good news. People should have an attorney to try to get this filed. You have to be patient, with still the regulations, the procedures, the forms, they have to be prepared. And be careful of, and that's something that they're really spreading the news about, is be careful of people who are going to take advantage, notarios, people who don't know the law, who just take your money, who will tell you you're eligible when you're not. It's better to go with an attorney who knows what he's doing. I myself have been doing this for 34 years. So, in fact, when the DACA came, I realized the most important part is to get the residency and not just to get employment authorization. That would be the most important part of this executive action. Thank you.